Hey y'all, it's me, Miska, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are cooking some beef short ribs, y'all. You want to stay tuned for this one. All right, y'all, here is what you are going to need: celery, whole carrots, garlic, onions, black pepper, salt, olive oil. We have some tomato paste down here in the cut, beef broth. Get you some red wine, not the sweet red wine that you like to drink. You want to get you something like what I have here, a Cabernet Sauvignon. We have some Better Than Bouillon beef base, fresh thyme, and some Italian seasoning. All right, let's get to cooking. You guys know that I like to prep first, so I'm going in and I'm cutting up all of my vegetables. I have onion here, carrots, celery. Get it all chopped up so you ain't got to worry about it later. After that, I'm going to go ahead and season my meat. Y'all, beef short ribs are just like everything to me these days. I don't know what it is, but I'm just a red meat kind of girl. I season these with some salt and pepper only. This is the kind of meat that you don't really want to go too crazy with the seasonings. You want to let the meat shine because it's just that good. You want to go ahead and season it up all sides, and then you want to get your pan. I'm going to use the Instant Pot today, but you want to get your pan or Instant Pot, whatever you plan on using, and sear each side of these short ribs. By searing each side, this is what's going to help you build flavor. You don't want to just throw these short ribs in your Instant Pot all naked without anything on it but seasoning, because it won't stick and you'll lose flavor. You want to sear each side so that you keep all of that flavor onto the meat. Here, I'm just showing you my settings on my Instant Pot. You can saute in the Instant Pot. However, it is super small in the Instant Pot, and I did not have all day to be trying to sear each side of these things. So I went ahead and used my cast iron skillet, but this is just for, demonstration purposes. Here is my meat all seared up, looking real good. I mean, y'all, can you just tell where this is going? I poured some of that oil from my cast iron pan into the Instant Pot. Instant pot. I poured some of that in there because this is where I want to do all of my sauteing. I have my saute setting on, and I'm poured in my vegetables so that we can get those sweated out a little bit. Now, you can cut your vegetables as big or small as you like. If you want to eat them, then I would suggest cutting them bigger than I did. However, if you're just using it for flavor like me, then you can cut them small because they will disintegrate. After sweating out those vegetables, I'm going in with the garlic. You want to just mix it around until it's fragrant. You don't want to do too much or burn it. After I get that all mixed up well and nice and everything is smelling real good and making the house just smell so lovely, y'all, this is a perfect fall and winter meal, okay? And this is also one of the meals that you pull out just to let him know, like, yeah, I do this, this is what I do. I be in here cooking. It's light work. Anyway, I'm going in with my tomato paste. I went in with about 2 tablespoons, and then I'm going to mix it around, let it get incorporated into what's going on in the pot already. I like to cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going in with the red wine. You guys, you don't want to use a sweet wine. This is not where you use a sweet wine. You want to go in with a dry red wine. Something like what I have here, Cabernet Sauvignon will do. And I am going to use about 1.5 cups. Now, once you put in your wine, you definitely want to let it cook out. You don't want that alcohol taste in the pot. So you want to let it cook out for about 5 minutes or so. Here we go. We're going in with that wine. And y'all, don't feel like you have to go break the bank for some wine to go into this meal. I spent about $11 on this bottle. It's not that deep. Grab a bottle. The only thing that's deep is for you to make sure that it's dry and not sweet, okay? Now we're going in with 32 ounces of beef broth. Pour it in. We're just dumping everything in at this point and giving everything a good mix around. After your broth, then I like to go in with some beef base. I'm trying to intensify and build the flavor, so I definitely want to go in with that beef base. I'm using about a tablespoon of it as well. And because I added more salt content to the pot, I'm going to add some water. So after that beef base, I'm going in with about 2 cups of water. Because we are cooking this in the Instant Pot, you definitely want to make sure you season every layer. Seasoning every layer will make sure that you have a great outcome, because if you don't season every layer, then you don't know what you're going to get when you take the lid off the little pot, child, and it's going to taste watered down and you're going to be mad and salty. So make sure you season every layer. Not too heavily though, but make sure you season every layer. All right, my liquid for my beef braised short ribs to braise in is ready. So now it's time to start adding them in. I like to add them in vertically. I put them in horizontally here, but I changed it to vertical, especially because I had so many to go into the Instant Pot. So if you have a lot like I did, make sure you put them in vertically. That's going to save you some space. After adding all of my ribs in, I then want to go in with some thyme, and I found some dried bay leaves in my cabinet as well, so I added those too. You guys, I did not have 5 hours for these short ribs to cook, so I went ahead and pressure cooked mine. I pressure cooked them for 40 minutes so that they would not get too tender to where they were falling apart. 40 minutes still kept some integrity of the meat. It wasn't too tender, but it wasn't too tough either. You also want to go in with that Italian seasoning at this point. And if you saw, I did add more salt to my pot as well. Not too much, just a little, 1-2 sprinkle. Okay, so yes, I cooked them for 40 minutes in the pressure cooker to give me a head start, a big head start, because cooking them on the stove would equate to about 5 hours that I did not have, child. So I was like, okay, let me pressure cook them for 40 minutes. After the pressure cook, I'm going to slow cook them for about 2 hours. That cuts my cooking time down almost in half. So, that's a little tip if you want to take it. If not, it's okay. You guys, here is where we are at after the 40 minutes of pressure cooking. It's tender, but like I said, not too tender. If you see right here, it's not even breaking apart. But that's purposeful because I didn't want them to be done so quick. I still wanted them to braise in that liquid. I wanted them to be flavorful. And so I did 40 minutes again in the pressure cooker. Then I changed that setting to slow cook. And here's what we have here. For 2 hours on the slow cook. Y'all, look at that meat. That is just gorgeous. I like a little gravy. Okay, I like a little gravy on mine. So I have to remove all of those ribs out of the pot. And then I skim the top of the liquid to get all of that oil out. You can do this too if you like to put a little of that liquid on your plate. Me, I let her sop mine up with it. So I have to take some of that oil off because it can be a bit much. Now, to make the gravy, I'm going to make a slurry. I'm going to make the slurry with the cornstarch and water. And then you'll get it to about this texture here. It's really liquidy. I used about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then I just got it to that consistency with some water. Your heat up and let it bubble, toil, and tubble, child, and then you will have some gravy. Y'all, look at this gravy go over this short rib like... oh my gosh, like, oh, I just don't know, y'all. I just don't know, like, look at that. Y'all, I paired it with some creamy mashed potatoes, some asparagus. The restaurant that Courtney and I go to, they put fried onions on the top, so I had to outdo them, okay? Courtney, he didn't see it coming, and so I had to get his reaction for y'all. Because y'all think I be playing when I say it's just that good. Listen at him. How is it looking?
It's amazing.
Amazing. With a capital A?
All caps. AMAZING.
I mean, y'all heard it. The man couldn't even keep his eyes all the way open. It was so good he had to close his eyes while he was eating. If you enjoyed this video, you guys, give it a like. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time.